Hi everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you are a current subscriber. Today I'm going to do the long-awaited video that I promised about, I think a month ago, for switching out the Coach Nolita 15 leather strap with a chain. So I will link that video down below in the description box as well in terms of the previous video of this piece. So I just did a overview and kind of first impressions and just my opinions and what fits for this. So you can check that out if you're interested. But in that video, I mentioned that although I normally really like leather straps, this one in particular I wasn't a fan of just because it's such a small piece. It is an SLG. It just, in terms of how bulky it was and, it kind of makes a squeak noise and everything, it just wasn't functioning for me how I wanted it to. So I went ahead and I looked on Etsy and I did end up purchasing a chain from there. So this is what I ended up going with. So it is quite a dainty chain, which is what I was looking for. I didn't want anything too heavy or too bulky, and I just wanted something that would, of course, not be in the way when I'm not using it as more of like a really mini handbag, but also just function as something that I could hold in my hand and carry it around that way if I needed to. So essentially I did look for something that was the similar length of this leather strap, but in a chain format. So basically, what I would suggest is if you're interested in this, of course, I will link all the information down below in terms of the seller, the exact seller that I purchased this from. But I would recommend, if this is not something you're looking for, to just shop around. You can find a ton of these sorts of things on Etsy, Amazon, eBay, that sort of thing. So definitely keep your eye out on that. And basically it'll be super easy to swap out once you take off the leather strap anyways. One thing to note is that I would recommend, if there's an option, to select a light gold or champagne gold. This one in particular for this listing, it only came in either a silver option or a gold option, so I really just had to go off the picture. But I'm glad to say that when this did arrive and I compared it to the hardware, it is literally an exact match. So I'm super happy that this ended up being a light gold hardware, which is what I thought it appeared to be in the photo, and it ended up being, so that's perfect. This was shipped from China, so it did take a month to arrive, but overall it only cost me $12. So I was really happy with that, and I'm not complaining. I think the quality is really good for what it is, and yeah, no complaints really from here. Otherwise, the one thing that I did note is I purchased this in the size 25 centimeters. However, I did measure it and it said from end to end it is 25 centimeters, and it's actually, I find, 24 centimeters, so it's a little bit off if you are purchasing that, just a note. But otherwise, there are plenty of other options that you can purchase in terms of length. So just a comment before I kind of go further on this. The leather strap is not detachable on this side. It is on this side, but it isn't on this side. So this is essentially a modification of this item. So if you are considering selling this along the line or taking it in for some sort of repair or something like that, you'll have to keep in mind that you've modified this piece. So I don't know if you'd even be able to get this repaired if you wanted to. So just keep in mind that this is a semi-permanent thing. Of course, you can always reattach this. Just to note, like, I would say to kind of test out the chain look before really committing. I'm personally really happy with it, so I will be proceeding, but that's just my 2 cents. If you are a little bit weary of doing this, it isn't just something that you can reverse right away. So what I would suggest is just clipping on the chain as if, you've already removed the strap. And this way you'll be able to see what it, kind of looks like. It'll give you an idea. So this is what it looks like with the chain. And as you can see, this is what it would look like if you just had the chain attached to this and kept the leather strap on. But of course, again, this leather strap is a little bit in the way. So really, to get a better idea, even you could take off the strap and then kind of just imagine it like so. And then of course, this is what it would look like with just the chain. So I'm quite happy with it. And as you can see, when you're not using the strap, it lays nicely flat. So I think that's just super convenient. So to minimize kind of the damage, if you would say, to the strap, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to just cut the thread. So what's holding this onto the D-ring is just the thread on either end. And also I noticed if you do take a look at how it's attached and you kind of flip this over, you'll notice that the thread is running through there as well. So if you have a seam ripper, this should be actually really simplistic because it would be able to fit right under there and easily be able to cut the thread. I don't have one on me right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use this really small knife It's basically a really small X-Acto knife. As you can see, it just looks like this. And I'm just going to use this to cut the thread. So I've gone ahead and finished cutting it, and as you'll see, it was sewn in all the way through. So I've just cut those pieces of thread, and now I can just go ahead and remove this. So here it is. It's still all intact. It's just the thread is cut. I'm definitely going to keep this, and I might actually consider looking for something that looks similar to this and maybe even reattaching this if I can just find a thread that matches quite well with the current one. And then you can actually just use this again with the pouch if you would like, but it will be removable. Now this is what it looks like. It is just the Nolita without a strap, and this will be awesome because if you really wanted to, now you can really do whatever you want. If you have additional straps, you can use that if you want it crossbody or anything like that. And of course, now that I have the leather strap off, I can just go ahead and reattach the chain. So here it is. This is the final look with just the chain strap. And of course, as I mentioned, now you can use, a different strap if you want to crossbody it and still use a little chain with it if you like that look. It's just really customizable now because it is just a regular small pouch with D-rings that you can attach whatever straps you want to it. So that's just my quick video on how I personally just took off the leather strap. Again, I will be keeping this, of course. I won't be getting rid of this or anything like that. But yeah, if you have any other questions, definitely leave them down below. Otherwise, I hope this helped in any way. Thank you as always for taking the time to watch my videos and subscribe if you like my content. I really appreciate it. I hope otherwise everyone has a fantastic day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video.